Hey guys, it's Bricks here. We gotta get talking fast here because this is a long video, as you can see by the timestamp. So what you see on screen is a glossary of what I feel is everything that's important for being successful on this new map that I can't even pronounce. And so we've compressed it all into one video here, so you don't have to go scrambling and watching many videos to find what you need and to listen to 20 different YouTubers plug their own YouTube channel. Here you only have to listen to one, and that's me. So if you understand what's going on, you can just click on the timestamp there and it'll take you to that part of the video. If you're on mobile, I've added the timestamps there so you can see what time you need to scroll to. If you're on desktop and you have annotations enabled, you can just click right there. I did this similar with Mob of the Dead and people loved it. It got a bunch of views, bunch of high ratings. But yeah, if you don't want to hear me ramble on for about 20-30 seconds, you can go ahead and get started if you're still unclear or like the sound of my beautiful voice. So like I said earlier, this is just designed to be an all-in-one stop and shop for what you need to do for this map and how to be successful. If you're an Xbox player, this will be perfect if you can just put this in your back pocket come a month from now when you guys have the map. Even if you're on PlayStation and playing the map now, like me, this video will come in handy, you know, a couple weeks from now when you stop playing and you want to come back and forget everything. Because there's a lot of stuff in this map, as you can see on the screen. So, here's the glossary. Pick away. Alright, so you've just loaded up your first game. You see this beautiful rocket take off into the sky. And if you turn around, you see this blue power-up. Now, these blue power-ups are tram fuses. And they work just like any other power-up. Double points, insta-kill, max ammo. They just drop randomly from zombies. And if you go up to this wheel here, you can hold X or square, whatever button it may be. And the tram will come. So this acts as kind of like a mystery box, except with a power-up. So this tram pops up, and boom, there you have your random power-up. So this isn't a tram you use for traveling, it's just literally a mystery box. Just on a side note, it is possible to obtain the ray gun. It's very rare, but it can happen. Alright, so starting from the spawn room, you're going to follow this path to turn on the power. I have opened up all the doors already, but if the doors were there, it's going to cost you 4,500 points, which isn't too bad. You can usually get there around round 3, round 4 on solo if you're trying hard. 5 or 6 if you're buying wall guns and taking your time. So I'll just slow it down here through these corridors because it's a little maze-like here, and anyone playing this for the first time is going to be a little confused. And then you just hang left and make a beeline straight to the power switch. Hold X or square, and there you have power. Easy as that. Alright, so activating no gravity. In the temple here, you'll see these 4 plates around here. And all you have to do is step on them. So once you step on them, you have to stick there for about 3 seconds, and they'll glow hot blue. So once all 4 are glowing, you will have activated no gravity. And what this does is just, I think like every 2 or 3 minutes, the room will go without gravity. So you can float around, you can ride on the walls, and this doesn't have much significance right now. But later on, pretty much every Easter egg / upgrade is in some way related to running along these walls. So this is, you need to do this, although it seems pointless. You will see its true beauty later on. So to build the Pack-a-Punch machine, it's very simple in this map, and there's just 3 locations you need to go to. So how it works is you have to teleport the Pack-a-Punch pieces to make the Pack-a-Punch machine. So the first one here is just outside the power room. You can see bits and pieces of the Pack-a-Punch, and it says press square to teleport. The second location is once again in the temple, just kind of near Jug, and here we can teleport some more pieces. And the third and final part is just around your shoulder here. You have to open this door and use the teleporter, and this will teleport you to the rocket shuttle launch thingamajigger. So once you arrive here, you just go up to the rocket, and once again you can teleport pieces. So what it means by teleport is, let's say all 3 platforms are A, B, and C. So if you teleport A and B, the Pack-a-Punch will show up at location C. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teleport these parts over by the rocket, because this is a shitty place to have a Pack-a-Punch. This is just completely outside of the map. So I'm going to teleport the pieces, and then I'm going to go back to the first spot I showed you just outside the power room, and I'm going to teleport these pieces. So because I just teleported those two pieces, that means the Pack-a-Punch machine will arrive at the third and final location, which is just by Jug in the temple. So this is where it's created. And on a side note, the Pack-a-Punch can move on you, so it can move to these three locations. However, when you're building it initially, you can choose where you want it to be. But I believe after you Pack-a-Punch a weapon or two, it'll move to either the first or second place that I showed you. So when you have enough money to Pack-a-Punch, just walk right up to it. It costs 5,000, and you'll get a nice looking camo on there. And then if you didn't play Shadows of Evil, you can stick your Pack-a-Punch weapon back in there, and it only costs 2,500 this time. And then with this new Pack-a-Punched weapon, you'll receive a little ability you can see in the bottom right corner. It tells you what it is. So they're all pretty self-explanatory and very useful. Alright, the landing pad / the Wonder Spheres. So these things are just platforms that launch you across the map, but you have to activate the corresponding landing platform and able to launch yourself using the Wonder Sphere. So I'll show you which ones are connected here. The first one we'll show is down by the launch station, and if you press X, you have now connected it to the Wonder Sphere. So the connected Wonder Sphere for this one is right outside the power room by the Pack-a-Punch and the Death Trap. So all you do is go in it and pay 500 points, and it'll launch you to the corresponding landing pad. The next one is just up above the courtyard on the side of the castle, or the side of the map. Connect it, and the Wonder Sphere that connects to that one is just above Double Tap in this weird spot here. Now going back to where you just were, there's also a landing pad there, and this one connects to the Wonder Sphere in the courtyard just on the side. And just on a side note, yeah, these things are used for movement and for traversing around the map quickly, but they're also used for Easter eggs and upgrading the bows. So always good to have this information. And the last one is at spawn, and the one that connects to this is down by the rocket launching. So you have a way to get out of the rocket launching, and you have a way to get there. So nice, quick, easy maneuvers. The Panzersoldat, or the boss zombie for this map, will always arrive at round 12, and I think shows up every 5, 6, 7 rounds after that. So if you go to this place in the temple, which is where you should be training, the Panzerzat will always spawn into this room. So you can get them off the spawn there very easily. You can see in this situation was actually the longest time I've spent trying to take one down. And in this situation it's a little bit quicker, but you do not need a bow to do this. In fact, a Pack-a-Punch weapon probably works better. So just a nice, simple, easy way to kill the Panzersoldats, and very efficient since you'll be spending most of your time in the temple. So the best place to hang out when you're playing solo, or if you just want to train by yourself, in my opinion, is down by the temple. It's very nice and open, and the only downside is this low gravity you see happening right now. Kind of changes up the game plan here, makes things a little messy. You'll notice if you've crafted the zombie shield, you can build it right there, so whenever your zombie shield gets broken, it's right there to pick up, which is very convenient. So if you haven't already, make sure you get an upgraded bow. If you're playing by yourself, you can actually get all 4 bows and just alternate them between the boxes. You can only have 1 bow on you at a time, but that just means you have 4 times the bow ammo, which is pretty sweet. So yeah, just keep running around these pillars. Like I said, it's very open, it's very familiar if you're a advocate zombies player and you've played quite a while, so nothing really too fancy. The highest round I made it to so far by doing this strategy, I think, was in the 30s, and then I got disconnected from the servers, which was very unfortunate, but so I started to make this video, and this video has taken me 3 days to make, so I guess it all worked out, I guess. But here you see I picked up a Haymaker, which is a very useful gun apparently, and it does some damage. Ammo count's a little low, so maybe just whip it out for those special occasions, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So there are 6 perks you can buy in this new map, and the first one, or the closest one to spawn, would be Quick Revive, and as per usual, Quick Revive doesn't reside too far from spawn. The second one we'll talk about is Double Tap, and that's just outside the spawn on your way to the power. And you can see Double Tap here for 2,000 points. The third one is Stamina Up, and it's kind of tucked away into the power room. You just have to hang a sharp right here, and there you have Stamina Up. The fourth one is just across the courtyard into the computer room. To your left you'll have Speed Cola, matches the green sheen in this room. The fifth one is Mule Kick, and it's kind of tucked away directly adjacent from the computer room across the courtyard. And it's kind of tucked away, as you can see, the big 4,000 Mule Kick. And the sixth one, and probably the most important, as we all know, is inside the temple, and you kind of got to go through, do some digging, and you'll find Juggernog right beside the KN-44, great gun, right there. So if you've turned the power on, Juggernog is actually right across from spawn, so there's a nice little shortcut. So there's a lot of ways to access Jug, which is nice. Before we get started, I just want to say quick things about the Wonder Fizz. There are 6 perks in this map, however there are 3 more you can obtain through the Wonder Fizz. These ones are Deadshot Daiquiri, Widow's Wine, and Electric Cherry, I believe. And also, if you're playing solo and you run out of quick revives, because you can only buy 3 quick revives, you are able to obtain a 4th and so on and so forth through the Wonder Fizz, so you can essentially have an unlimited number of quick revives. So the 5 locations for the Wonder Fizz, you've got one kind of outside of Richtofen's room near Double Tap, in this corner here. The second one is actually in Richtofen's and Samantha's room, whichever one you want to call it. This one's kind of tucked away nice and hidden. The third one is just near the edge of the map in the courtyard there on top of the castle. Not hard to miss this one. And then we have one into the computer room, stashed into the corner. This one's a little trickier to find. And lastly, one on the rocket launch site, just tucked away right beside it. So there are all 5 locations. Alright, all the Gobblegum locations. The first one is right in spawn, you can't miss it. And then the second one here we're coming up on is just outside of Double Tap. We have another one on this balcony overlooking the area near Double Tap. Our fourth one is just outside the power room inside Richtofen's mansion. Fifth one is tucked away near Mule Kick and hiding here. We got another one overlooking the courtyard on the balcony. And our 7th one is near Jug, just deep below in the temple. And last but not least, we have one on the rocket launch site, tucked away in the corner. So there's all your Gobblegum locations. Alright, I believe there is 6 mystery box locations in this map. The first one being near Double Tap. The second one just outside the power room, right by the Pack-a-Punch. The third one we have kind of tucked away into the computer room, kind of hidden away. We have another one in the main courtyard, and the fifth one is near Jug. This one is also kind of tucked away, nice, hidden nice and tight. And the last one is on the rocket landing. Just hang a left right here, and there you go, all 6 mystery box locations. So this is how to get the Wrath of the Ancients, otherwise known as the bow that the Outrider Specialist uses in multiplayer. This is a very useful tool, and you may be surprised at why we're doing it at such an early round, and that's because if you leave it to later rounds, it's very hard to do. So the sooner you do it, the better. It is a little tricky, but here's how you do it. So there's 3 dragon heads located around the map, and what you need to do is you need to kill zombies around them, and then they will eat the zombie, and I believe they need to eat 7. So once they eat 7 zombies, your screen will start to shake a bit, and you'll notice the dragon turns back into a statue and then crumbles to the ground. So here we're done the first one, let's move on to the second one. If you've just turned the power on, you'll exit outside and you'll be in this big courtyard. So just go straight ahead into, I believe people call it the computer room due to all the computers, and then you see the second statue right above your noggin there. So same thing, you need to feed the dragons 7 zombies. Now be careful, that doesn't mean kill 7 zombies, because they can only eat 1 zombie at a time. So if they're eating a zombie and you're killing other zombies, well then those zombies are going to waste. So you kind of got to train and loop around a bit, and kind of make good use of the round you're on, because you don't want to be here a while. You want to kill as least as possible, if that makes sense. After the second dragon's done, you just run down to the other side of the room and you go into the basement, or to the temple, which I like to call it. And you should do these in the order I'm showing you, because I personally believe that the first one I showed you is the hardest, so you should do it first. So save the easy ones for last, because they'll be done on the later rounds, which evens out the balance there. You got a hard round, but an easy, easy area to feed the dragon. So after the third and final dragon's been fed, you're just going to want to walk up to the side to where you just came in from, and you'll see a knight sitting on a table, and behind him sits the Wrath of the Ancients, or the Sparrow Bow. So this is a very useful weapon which you can upgrade, and that's covered. All 4 upgrades are covered in this video. So more on that later. We got other things to focus on chronologically. Alright, so the first piece we're going to get for the zombie shield is in the temple, and you have to have no gravity activated. So there's in the glossary you can find out how to do that if you don't already. And usually the piece spawns there. If not, it will spawn kind of up on these rings, and those seem to be the 2 main pieces. But one thing's for sure, you are going to need to wall run in some fashion to get this piece. So just look around if it's not in those 2 spots using the wall run. The next piece we'll look at is pretty simple. It's just in the courtyard, and tucked away near the staircase here. And once again, this is typically where it spawns, but I will show you a few places where else it can spawn, just around these boxes here, and sometimes in front of the staircase here on these boxes. So just in the courtyard, that's the general area you're going to be looking for them. And the last piece you're going to need is kind of just by double tap, right outside Richtofen's bedroom. This one's a hard one to find. It really blends into the map, and this one's weird. I mean, it spawns everywhere kind of, so just make sure you look around here, and if it's not there, it might be in the staircase that leads up to the power room, or the Pack-a-Punch first one there. Anyways, once you have all 3 pieces, head to the temple and build it. This is the best place to build it in my opinion, for this is where you'll be spending most of your time. So if it breaks, you can just pick it up there and be on your way. You'll always have a zombie shield with you. Alright, so the first piece we'll look at for the gravity spikes, you have to turn on the death trap or death ray, I don't know what it's called. It's just outside the power room near the Pack-a-Punch, one of the Pack-a-Punches. And you'll notice when the death ray ends, there'll be a piece in the sky. So you have to use the landing pad / the wonder spheres. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, there is a section in the glossary you can look at. So you have to find the corresponding one. For instance, in my game, mine was just outside the courtyard, and I have to launch myself in the air to catch the part. So it'll be different every game. In the event that you have no idea how to get it, just wait a round or 2, it'll disappear, and then when you activate the trap again, it'll appear in a different spot. So hopefully you can get it the second time around. Piece number 2 will be dropped from the Panderzoldat, I believe that's what he's called. And if you're confused as to why I'm shooting him here, there is a section in the glossary on how to handle the Panderzoldat and kill him easy. But anyways, yeah, you need to kill him, and the first time you kill him, on round 12, he will drop the second piece. So once again, if you're confused as to why I'm shooting the Panderzoldat here, just check out the glossary. And lastly, the third and final piece is located by the rocket launch test site. And you should have an upgraded bow or some sort of high caliber weapon for this, because this is a kind of a hard step to do. So you have to wait here until the rocket is about to launch. You'll start hearing beeping, and you could be waiting here for a lot of minutes, because there's no way to induce the rocket launch. So you have to wait until you start hearing the buzzing. Once you do, run over to this switch here. You'll see a lever fall down. Press X or square on it, and then hurry your ass into the teleport room, or else if you don't make it in time you will die, and then you're just gonna get bombarded by zombies. So you have to fend off here, and depending on what round you're on, it can get really hectic. So you'll notice me glancing to the right, and you see a switch there, right there with the 2 green lights. You have to wait until that switch has 3 green lights, and then you go up to it and press X. So here you can see I try to press it, but it's not quite ready yet. And just ignore that floating blue thing, that's a tram fuse, so that's not part of it. So there it's complete. I go over to it, I press X or square, and the piece will appear into the teleporter right there. So just run over and you have your last piece. Now unlike the zombie shield, you're just going to build it once and pick it up. So you're going to want to put it into the more inconvenient workbench, which is in the computer room. So just build it and you have it at your disposal. Now these gravity spikes have two abilities. One of them is you can just set them on the ground and they kind of act like a Gersh device. They just suck all the zombies in. And in fact right here you can see me actually trap the Panzer Soldat. So there's another easy way you can use to kill him. The second ability just is like multiplayer where you just slam down, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so upgrading the purple bow, you're going to need the bow to start with. Don't mind my upgraded electric bow I have right now. I just got this earlier in the game, so you can just use a regular bow. You do not need any upgraded bows. To initiate this quest chain to upgrade the purple bow, you're going to head over to the double tap and you'll see a purple marking in the roofing. All you have to do is shoot it and a purple arrow will drop, thus starting your quest. Once you pick up the arrow, you'll notice that back near the mule kick room, there's a glowing purple stone in the middle of the room. What you need to do is you need to knife and kill a zombie on this purple stone. So I was just knifing and eventually he got down to health. And once he's dead, you'll see this urn, and this urn's gonna glow, thus starting the next part of the quest chain. After doing this, the next step is to find 6 skulls located around the map. So the first one is just adjacent to the room you're just doing the Easter egg in, right by the mule kick machine. And you'll notice that the skull glows purple once you press X or square on it. The second one is located by double tap, just outside on the brick ledging. The third one is back in the mansion. It's in Samantha's toy box. This one's kind of a little tricky to find. It's nice and dark over here. The fourth one is rather easy. It is going to be up on the courtyard just on this windowsill. And the fifth one is by the teleporter in the sink. This one was also a little tricky to find there, but you can see it hidden there. And last but not least, the last one is near the rocket launch site, just in the back of the truck. So once you have all 6 skulls, you can head back to the place, and you'll notice these skulls are rotating around, and the guy says he needs 6 broken corpses or something like that. So what you need to do is you need to bring 6 crawlers into this room, and don't actually kill the crawlers, for the skulls will do that yourself. So you need to bring 6 of them in there, 1 for each of the skulls, and then you're on to the next step. So I had to pause the video here because this is a very important step. So after you feed them the crawlers, this voice is going to start talking to you, and it's going to tell you 3 things. And the things that it will tell you are things like door, griffin, horn, heart. Just 3 words that seem to have no meaning to them. So you need to make sure you have a pen or paper or your phone handy with you, and you need to write down the words that this guy says in the correct order. This is completely random, so don't think you can just take what he said in my video and use it on yours. It's different every time. And so this is what it sounds like. So make sure you write those down, and then the next step is to just play zombies like you usually would. Because what you need to do is kill zombies, and they will drop these pink little power-ups, and you need to collect 6 of them. Keep in mind the round will not end until you collect 6 pink ones, so you'll be fighting zombies for a long time if you're not collecting the pink power-ups. Once you've collected all 6, we can head on to the horn, door, griffin situation. So depending on what 3 words he said to you, you're going to head back to the mansion, and there's 6 knight statues in here. And beneath them are pictures of what the guy was telling you. So for example, for me the first word he said was horn. So I'm going to try and find a picture of a horn. So there it is. I paused the video, and now I need my pen and paper, and I'm going to draw the shape that pops up. The second word was door, so I'm going to try and find the door, press X, and then draw the shape that pops up as I pause my game. And then the third one was griffin, and I'm going to draw that shape once again. So after you have 3 shapes drawn, you're going to head back to this place, and you're going to shoot the symbols that you drew in the correct order. So order matters, and you don't want to leave anything to chance or randomness, otherwise you can die in here. This thing will blow up and it might down you or something like that. If you get it right, he'll say, So if he says that's his name, you've completed this step and you're almost done. So you may need to wait a few minutes for this arrow to drop, and once it does, you just pick it up and then you head back to the temple. Now beneath the temple you have to find the corresponding pillar to insert this arrow in. So for this one, it's right in the corner. You stick it in there by pressing X and you get a max ammo. Now you need to collect souls. So just kill zombies that are down in that below area there. And as you can see, the urn will start to collect them. I think it collects about 25 zombies or something like that. And then once it's done, you'll see a nice shine of purple light, and you can collect your upgraded purple bow, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so you want to upgrade to the lightning or the blue bow. First you'll need the standard bow, the Wrath of the Ancients, non-upgraded of course. And the first step to starting this quest chain is to shoot the rooster compass just outside the power room. And you'll notice a blue arrow falls, so just press square or X to pick that up and you're on your way to getting your lightning bow. The next step is to set fire to 3 beacons with your bow and arrow located outside the map. So the first one is located near Mule Kick. All you need to do is shoot and be accurate enough to hit the beacon. The next one is down by the rocket launch site, and you can see the beacon far out in the distance. Keep in mind that there's no reason to the order in which you do these. Just make sure you're accurate enough and can hit the beacon, because those faraway beacons get really hard. You really have to aim high to hit them. The third and final one is just in spawn, and you can see it in the distance, and you'll see how high I have to aim my arrow to hit the beacon, as it's a projectile and the thing's going to lose some distance. So there you have all 3 lit up. You're ready to go on to the next step. The next step is to make sure you've activated the low gravity setting in the temple. And if you don't know how to do that, there is a section in here. Just head back to the glossary and quickly glance at it. Once you do, you'll notice these 5 whooshing little clouds, symbols of, I don't know what the hell they are, but anyways, you need to wall run on them and make sure it's one continuous wall run so you can see them on the side there. And once you've done that and hit all 5 without hitting the ground, you can move on to the next step. The next step is there will be 3 kind of lightning orbs located around the map. The first one is in the clock tower, and you need to kill about 3 or 4 zombies near them, and it'll simply collect their souls. Now there'll be no audible or visual cue when you're done. The only reason you know you're done is that it stops collecting souls. So you can see I'm killing zombies here, and there's no souls going into it. So we're done here. We'll move on to the second one. The second one is located right in front of the teleport to the rocket landing, and once again you're only going to need to kill about a couple zombies and then stop shooting when the souls stop. The third and final location is just above Double Tap in this little dead end room, and same story. Once you've completed all 3, you have to go back to these lightning orbs. So see, I'm just right here, and I'm going to hold back my arrow. So I'm going to go up to it, I'm going to hold it, find one of the 3 beacons I was shooting at earlier, and try to hit it again. And you'll notice you get a nice flame and lightning concoction. So go do this with the other 2 locations that are remaining. So this one just by Double Tap, and then once again the one by the rocket launch. Head back to the rooster compass, and you'll know that it has some fire and lightning on it. So give it a shot, and then you're gonna have to wait about a couple minutes for the blue arrow to drop right where I'm standing. It takes quite a bit of time, so don't be alarmed if it's not showing up. It will eventually. You're almost done. Just head back to the temple and insert the arrow into the corresponding pillar. So just try them all. Hold square or X until you hit a max ammo. And now you just have to collect about 25 souls. So just kill the zombies when they're in the lower part of the staircase there, and you'll see the box start to fill up. Once you've collected enough souls, you'll see a shining blue light, and you can go ahead and pick up your upgraded lightning blue bow, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so to upgrade the wolf or jade bow, you'll first need to get the standard bow, the Wrath of the Ancients. And the first step to unlocking this bow is you'll notice there are 4 pictures located around the map. There is one in the watchtower. The second one is in Richtofen's mansion thing, hiding in the corner there. The third one is in just near Mule Kick. And lastly, the fourth one is just in the top corner of the computer room. So what you need to do is you need to go up to these pictures and hold X. Now if it's the correct picture, you'll see 2 signs of a wolf and you'll hear a nice harp sound. So just like this. And what you need to do is connect all 4 pictures in the right order. So it's pretty much a guessing game. You'll get one right and then you'll go to the second picture and you'll probably get it wrong. You'll hear like a click noise and then you have to restart from your starting point. So it's random every time. It's just pretty much a guessing game and you just have to chain them all 4 correctly in the right order on one try. So once you've done that, just head back down into the temple and you'll see these bricks kind of break, and there's the arrow you can pick up to start the next part. The next part is fairly simple. Just head to the rocket launch site and you'll see this red flag sitting on top of a mountainside here, and you just have to hit it with an arrow. It may take a few times because it's pretty high up there and you gotta account for the projectile of the bow. But once you do, you'll get the notification that the step has been completed, and this rolling skull will fall. So it's going to drop to the floor, go up to it and pick it up by pressing X or square, and we can go on to the third part. Teleport back from the rocket launch and head to these pillars here and find the corresponding box with the 2 wolf symbols on it. You're going to go up to it and press X or square, and you'll notice this spirit wolf pop up. And you're just going to follow him, and he'll take you to the courtyard. So he'll start digging around, and once he stops digging, he'll just kind of stand there. And this is where you just need to kill a bunch of zombies around it. So I think it's only about 10 or 15, and collect souls. Now when you've collected enough souls and you notice there's stop going into the pit there, the spirit wolf will kind of go back to it and dig at it. This is where you need to go over it and press X or square, and then the wolf will take you to the second spot. So the second spot is right by double tap, and once again you're just going to kill a bunch of zombies. Once you notice the spirits stop going into the ground, go over to the mound and press X or square, and you'll be taken to the third spot. The last place is just in the temple, just in front of the Pack-a-Punch, and same thing, kill them and then pick up the mound. Alright, so the next part is a little tricky. You have to do this when the no gravity is activated, or the low gravity, and if you don't know how to do that, there is a tutorial in the glossary you can quickly look at. But anyways, once there's no gravity, you have to wall run and kind of try to shoot your arrows in the correct position. So it's kind of trial and error. You kind of got to get it into the sweet spot, and then once you do, you'll notice a platform will come out. So you just stand on the platform and then press X or square, and the skeleton will give you the arrow. Now run back to the pillars and go to the corresponding box again. You're going to press X on it and you should receive a max ammo. Now all you have to do is fill that box with some more souls. So you have to kill about 15, 20, 25 zombies, and they have to be killed in this lower part of the stairs here, kind of right by the pyramid. So once you do and you notice the souls stop going in, go up to the box and press X, and you'll notice some magic start to happen. You'll see a bright beam, and just go up to the box and pick up your upgraded spirit / jade bow. Alright, so upgrading to the fire bow, this is by far the hardest of them all, and if you're doing solo you may want to pass on this, for there are 3 other bows that are really just as good and require a lot less effort, and if you're playing with 4 people, well, the most experienced one should be going for this bow. So anyways, the first step to getting this bow is to head up to the clock tower, and you'll see a symbol in the wall, and just shoot it with your standard bow, which you of course need before upgrading. For step number 2, you're going to have to head to the rocket launch site, and you're pretty much just going to have to play around here until you hear the rocket about to go off. Once the rocket does go off, you're going to hurry into the building and just wait until the doors open again. Once they do, you're going to see this orange sculpture to the right here, and you have to be dead accurate with this shot. You cannot miss, or else you're going to have to do this step again. It took me about 6 tries the first time I did that, so that was a lot of time wasted waiting for the rocket to launch only to do this step over again. So make sure you're accurate. Now the third step is you're going to have to take these Wonder Spheres and landing pads. If you're confused about the landing pads and Wonder Spheres, just head to the glossary. If not, you'll notice in the air these orange rings that are glowing, and what you need to do is you need to shoot an arrow into these rings while you're in the air. Notice these rings will not glow unless you're in the air. So on the ground you won't see them, but when you're in the air they'll be orange. And you know you've done it right when these orange rings will glow even when you're on the ground. They'll just always be glowing. So there's 3 in total. The second one, the Wonder Sphere, is located just on the side of the courtyard. And you can see these orange rings are right beside the Wonder Sphere. So once again, just try to hit them with your arrow. It's pretty hard to do. You're going to miss a lot, so make sure you have a lot of arrows and a lot of money, because it's going to cost 500 coins to launch yourself. So the third and final one you can use by using the Wonder Sphere located here, but also the one, and probably the easier one, is located down at the rocket launch. So this one's by far the hardest. You have to shoot into the rings, and they're just kind of near that double tap area, so this one might take you a few tries. Once you've completed all 3, you need to go back to these 3 rings, and you're going to collect souls. So that seems to be a common theme with the bows. So just sit in the rings, and you'll notice an orange kind of glow around you, and you have to collect souls until the souls stop. Then you move on to the next 2. So you have to do this for all 3. So now we're going back to the one just in front of Pack-a-Punch and by the Wonder Sphere. And finally the third one just outside of the clock tower. Now you can you don't have to sit exactly in the rings, you can kind of run around and toy with it that way, but moral of the story is to just make sure that you're in the rings and killing zombies. So once you've completed all 3, you'll notice you'll get the notification that the step's been completed, and you can move on to the harder part. Alright, so this part's a little confusing, so I'll try to explain it my best. You're going to want to run up to the watchtower again and press X or square, and you'll notice you'll see a symbol pop up. So there's 3 fireplaces located around the map, and you need to find the fireplace that has that symbol incorporated in the fireplace. You'll see it. So there's one fireplace in the computer room, there's one in Samantha's room, and the last one is in the corner of this room you see right here. This is just gobblegum footage, so you saw the fireplace right in that corner. So anyways, these 3 fireplaces are located near these 3 rings, and what you need to do is you need to find the fireplace that's yours, and then head to the set of orange rings that are closest to that fireplace. So after you find your fireplace, head to the rings, and you notice if you shoot a zombie with the bow while you're in the rings, he'll turn into this rock, and now you have to get this rock into the fireplace. Now how you do this is you have to be standing on the rock that just spawned, and then you shoot with your arrow. Now wherever your arrow lands is where the rock will pop up. Now you can only do this 3 times, so you have to be smart, and this is why this part's really hard. So you can see I launched it over to this side because my fireplace happened to be into the computer room, and I'm going to chase my rock. And so this is my second throw or launch. And you can see this one's fairly easy, you just pop it in there. So once the rock has entered the fireplace, you go up to it and you press X, and you're ready to start the third part. Head back to that big fireball in front of Pack-a-Punch and the Death Ray, and press X or square on it. You'll notice that it starts to float up into the sky, and it will blow up. Now just simply wait for the arrow to drop, pick it up, and you can begin the last step to upgrading this bow. So head back to the temple and find the corresponding box, and you'll notice if you press square or X, you'll hit a max ammo. And now, just like every other bow, you'll need to collect souls. So once again, the zombie souls can be collected when you kill them down in this beneath area right by the pyramid, that lower staircase part. So once you've done that, press X up against the box, and you'll see some magic start to happen. A nice bright orange beam will shoot up from the box, and just go over there and pick up your upgraded fire bow. So this is by far the hardest one. I do not recommend this one. if you're playing a zombies match with 4 friends, make sure the biggest bag has to do the fire bow. Alright guys, that's it. That's all the information I have for this map. This map's a great map. It's going to be a classic, I'll tell you. Lots of people are going to come back to play this one. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised when I played this map. Lots of fun stuff. Very fun to play with people. And thanks for watching. So, if you guys wouldn't mind leaving a rating of any sorts, this is a 40-minute video. I usually don't make these, but a lot of work went into this one. So any ratings appreciative. But thanks for watching, and hopefully see you guys next time.